Richard Branson is going to be going into space. We can debate where the line of space is. We'll do that a little later on in the conversation. You've said it's not important who is going to be first here, Sir Richard or Jeff Bezos, but it looks like it's going to be Sir Richard. I'm curious, whose decision was it to make the first flight first?
Well, as you say, it's not important when any of these space flights go. What's important is that they're ready to go. And that's really what you're hearing from us here is we're ready. We had an incredibly successful flight back in May. We'd announced we were going to run a schedule of 4 test flights. The one on May 22nd hit all of our technical objectives. And we did deep analysis and looked across all the ships as we prepared for when the time of the next flight would be. The data that we have been using is also what we sent to the FAA. And the FAA used that as the basis for clearing our commercial license, which we'll use in 22 going forward. But technically, the ship performed just as we wanted it to do. So now we're going to repeat that flight profile for the remainder of this flight test program.
Okay.
But now the flight test program shifts to the commercial cabin and the private astronaut experience. We've always planned for Richard to be the person to test that private astronaut experience for us. We thought he might do that after we rehearsed it once in space. The truth of it is we actually do most of the training and rehearsals for that on the ground. And so these next 2 flights are going to be exactly the same. And we asked Richard which he'd prefer to be on. You can guess what he said. And so we're excited that he's going to be joining and testing the private astronaut experience for us.
Does this pull forward the timeline for private flight? And what exactly will it cost someone who isn't Richard Branson to take that flight?
So no, there's no pulling forward of our schedule or flight test program here. We are remaining on the exact same schedule we've been. We had announced we would do these next 2 flights in the summer. And pending the data analysis, which we needed to complete first, we'd always expected internally mid-July was when we would likely be going with the next of these and the first of our commercial cabin crew flights. So that's all the same, and we're going to continue that same test flight program. We do now have a clear license from the FAA to do commercial sales. That won't happen until 22 after we finish the flight test. However, after the second of these next 2 upcoming flights, as planned, we will be reopening up sales to the marketplace, and we're excited for that moment. That'll be late summer, early fall.
Michael, if I'm going into space, I want to go into space. The common line is the international recognized sort of demarcation point. It's at 62 miles. You guys are going to 55. If I want to go to space, I want to go into space. Why would I go with you? I'm going to get a great view of the curvature of the Earth, but am I really going to be in space?
Well, we go well over the astronaut line. In fact, we're the only private company that's taken private citizens up into space, come back and been recognized by the U.S. government as private astronauts. So yes, we are taking you into space undoubtedly, and we're very excited about that. What I would say is Virgin Galactic is focused on bringing you to a place in space to also look back to the planet. And so we are going to do that. It's the entirety of what the vision of the company is built for.
Right.
There are other people out there that are doing lots of other business models that will take you up as well. But this is our business. And we think the view we will give you from space is going to be incredible and life-changing. And that's why we're here.
So how many people have signed up for this? How many customers so far? And what do they need to pay you in order for Virgin Galactic to turn a profit?
So we've had about 600 customers have signed up. We call them future astronauts because they will become astronauts once they fly. And they paid, the last time we had a public price out there was $250,000 a number of years ago. So we have not posted our pricing for when we reopen up sales. That will happen just in advance of when we do open up sales. We expect that will be higher than where it has been in the past as we go forward, but we haven't put that pricing out yet today.
Michael, the stock's been roaring. You're a meme stock, you're a Reddit stock. Are you going to be selling stock to raise money?
Well, as we said, we've been well capitalized. We raised money back about a year ago or so, and that's served us well. We're moving through our flight test program and in good shape. We have a lot to do as we grow our fleet of spaceships along the way. But we believe we're positioned well, and as we're ready, we will, of course, look to make sure that we're funded for the future growth of the business. Right now, though, we're just focused on completing these flight tests and getting that program done really, really well. And I can tell you this next space flight, our first fully crewed flight, is going to be something to see when we do this next weekend in New Mexico.